the field right now. Alex Cora trying to get back into the win column. Here's the lineup he puts out tonight, brought to you by Toyota's website for deals, buyatoyota.com. Mookie Betts will start off the offense. He's in right, Andrew Benintendi in left. Hanley Ramirez at first, JD Martinez the designated hitter, with Rafael Devers at third, Eduardo Nunez at second. Jackie Bradley will patrol center. Christian Vasquez doing the catching, and Brock Holt swinging a hot bat at shortstop. Taking on the right-hander Aaron Sanchez, coming in 1-2, a 3.86 ERA. He took a no-hitter into the 8th inning on April 10th at Baltimore before he lost it.
The defense night for the Blue Jays. They are 4th in the American League, 11 errors in 22 games. Solarte will be at third base. Diaz the shortstop. Gurriel at second, and Smoke the first baseman. Left to right, Steve Pearce, Kevin Pillar, and Teoscar Hernandez, and Russell Martin doing the catching for Sanchez.
Here are the umps tonight, brought to you by Toyota's website for deals, buyatoyota.com. Scott Perry behind the plate. Ramon De Jesus at first. Kerwin Danley, the crew chief, at second. Dan Iasania at third base. Where available, this telecast can be heard in Spanish by selecting the SAP button on your TV remote. SAP presented by Toyota. Visit compra2toyota.com to see Toyota deals not seen on TV.
Buenas noches, amigos.
Raining outside, the roof is on here at Rogers Center. Great to have you with us on a big sports night in Toronto. A little something for everyone. Red Sox and the Blue Jays indoors here at Rogers Center. The Maple Leafs and the Bruins, of course, that's Game 7 at TD Garden. The Raptors and the Wizards in the NBA playoffs, Game 5 here in Toronto at the Air Canada Center. And the soccer team, Toronto FC, plays a big CONCACAF Champions League match tonight in Mexico. So
that's no shortage of action in the Toronto area tonight.
Mookie Betts will get in to start it. He was 0 for 4 last night. And ball one to get underway here at Rogers Center. The Sox trying to snap a 3-game skid. That followed an 8-game winning streak.
See Sanchez, he throws hard, 95 miles an hour, but he also throws a very heavy sinker. He gets a lot of ground balls.
Mookie 347 with half a dozen home runs. And he hits a high fly ball left field. Way back that goes. Forget it. It is gone. Mookie Betts striking again out of the leadoff spot to put the Red Sox in the lead 1-0. He is making that a habit.
He's got the count in his favor. 2 balls and no strikes. He gets a fastball that does not sink. It stays up about belt high, and you know that's what they talked about. Betts being aggressive, and he was aggressive on this 2-0 count. There you see the location of the sinker that didn't sink. Right about belt high, and Betts takes it out of the ballpark. So a very quick 1-0 lead.
His 14th leadoff home run, so he continues to extend the franchise record for leadoff homers. Mookie with number 7. And Benintendi in now. Speedway donating $500 to Boston Children's Hospital for every Red Sox homer. Register your Speedy Rewards Club now, and you can purchase 6 eligible beverages. You'll qualify to choose some great rewards. Benintendi with a cold night last night. He was 0 for 5, struck out 4 times, but Mookie's starting to heat up again.
Yeah, Benintendi only 3 for his last 23, trying to get on track here tonight.
In for a strike. Well, once again, you see one of the reasons Alex Cora wanted to have Mookie Betts as the leadoff hitter, when a lot of other folks thought maybe drop him down. 3-1 fouled away into the middle of the order, but when he can give you that 1-0 lead like that, there's nothing like it.
Well, I've always said, you know, I like him in that spot, not just because he hit a home run, but I liked him in that spot when he was a leadoff hitter before. But because last year they didn't hit a lot of home runs, they had to drop him back down in the order.
Popped him up into center field. Pillar there. And 1 man gone with Hanley on the way up next. Yeah, it was an interesting debate back in spring training. I think one of the more interesting things going to be talked about is when Dustin Pedroia returns to the lineup.
That's a good point.
Where's Petey going to hit?
Yeah, it's a good point. Well, if Benintendi continues to struggle a little bit, as he has been, It's quite possible it doesn't go back to the 2 spot. You move Benintendi somewhere down around the number, after Devers, somewhere in that area. That wouldn't surprise me at all, because I think Pedroia is going to probably hit second.
Hanley 333, another hot bat. Last night he had 3 hits. 3 homers, 16 runs batted in for Ramirez. Red Sox with a quick 1-0 lead on the strike by Mookie Betts. And off the outside, our key matchup presented by Sullivan Tire and Auto Service. We're always here to get you there. Highest batting averages at Rogers Center among active players. Hanley at 339, top of the charts. And the 1-1.
That's a changeup right there, 90 miles an hour. Fastball, breaking ball, changeup for Sanchez. As I said, when he's on, it's a lot of ground balls. So far, 2 balls in the air. Home run, fly out.
Red Sox have run into some superb pitching. Line drive into right field, but closing on it, Hernandez, and he'll drop it. So he can't make the play, and Hanley is aboard on the drop by Teoscar Hernandez.
Now, a lot of times when you see that, you think maybe he lost it in the light tower, but I'm not sure he did. There's no indication right there that he lost it in the lights. He just dropped the baseball. So I'm going to have to say that's going to go as an error on the right fielder.
The official score agrees with you. It's an E9.
That ball was scorched too by Ramirez.
Down to button JD Martinez now. JD a little bit of a skid coming into this one as he'll look at a strike. His last 3 games he's 0 for 11 with 8 strikeouts. Had a tough night last night. A lot of Red Sox did. Red Sox running into Sean Manaea, that no-hitter, and then Jay Happ last night, who was outstanding, as was Rick Porcello. Terrific pitchers duel. There goes Hanley. And fouled out of play. Ramirez got a very good jump.
Yeah, he did. He was trying to time Sanchez, and Sanchez is another guy that you can run on because he has kind of a high leg kick, and you can get yourself a pretty good jump for those who can steal bases.
Well, 3 stolen bases in 4 attempts for Hanley. He was saying something to Martinez like, hey, I had that stolen. I was in there. 0-2 on JD. Devers on deck. Red Sox ahead 1-0. Hanley, of course, talking throughout spring training about a 30-30 year. That was his goal.
Well, so far in stolen bases, he's got 3. In home runs, he's got 3. Well, he's looking for a 27-27 season right now.
Rolled foul. You look at that with Hanley Ramirez. 280 career stolen bases.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's easy to forget. I'm not sure why, but I guess it's because he hasn't been the stolen base guy the last several years. But at one point in his career, he was an absolute terror on the bases. He was a 50 stolen base guy. Not running here, and ground ball to third. That'll be gobbled up by Solarte. He'll go into second, get the force play. So Ramirez is retired. Martinez will take over at first base with 2 down.
A little indecision by Solarte on that play there, whether he was going to go to first base or second base. It looked to me like he looked to first and then decided to throw to second base to get the force out. Hanley not going, of course, the backhanded play. There's the look to first, but then he realized, well, I still got a chance to get Hanley at second base and keep him out of scoring position.
So to center, Rafael Devers at 287, 3 homers, 17 driven in. Really interesting is Guerin brought you that clip of Alex Cora talking about the defense of Rafael Devers, which has been up and down. No question about that, but he clearly believes in Devers and thinks he's done a nice job. 21 years old. He feels like he's done better than expected.
Well, I think, some of the reports that came in the offseason to Alex Cora was that he was not very good at all down at third base, but he has certainly been a work in progress all through spring training and here in the early going.
2 balls and 1 strike. Nunez would hit next. Red Sox with a 1-0 lead. Sox at one point had scored just 1 run over a 26 inning span. Recovered a bit last night to score 3. And now a quick one thanks to Mookie here tonight. And a little topper. Foul ball by Devers.
They had that shot of Alex Cora too when he talked about the defense of Devers. Devers knows that he got criticized quite a bit for his defense. So what Cora's trying to do as a manager is trying to pump him up as much as he possibly can too. Not only work on the fundamentals of playing third base, but mentally getting him prepared to play third base and mentally getting him to think that, yes, I am a good third baseman.
2-2. Runs inside.
That's a pitch to get out of the way of right there. 96 on that fastball, and it was right at the hip of Rafael Devers,
who certainly has been a lot of fun to watch hit and really attack the baseball. Martinez off first base, get a running start in the 3-2, and down he goes, strike 3. Side retired, but the Red Sox lead it 1-0. Red Sox starter tonight presented by New England Audi dealers. Eduardo Rodriguez trying to go to 3-0 on the season. 3.45 ERA. Red Sox need a streak stopper. There's a shot deep to left field over the head of Benintendi. He'll play it off the wall. Going to be a play at second base. Here's the throw, the tag, and he is safe. Pierce got in there with that right hand. You knew that was going to be close. He's got himself a double.
A lot of things on this play. First of all, it was a great play by Benintendi out there to get that ball back in and make an accurate throw, and a great slide by Pierce. It's one of the advantages of that head first slide going into second base. Now here's the ball bouncing off the wall, played very nicely by Benintendi, gets rid of it very quickly, the good throw, but then Pierce, he's able to swim around the tag of Nunez. Now when you're a second baseman, you turn around, you know exactly where that guy is because you can't see him. So he has to reach to the right field side of second base to try to tag him out.
Well,
excellent side.
I thought for sure, Jerry, that his momentum would pull him off the bag.
Yeah.
Somehow he held it with that right hand, so a double brings up Hernandez. Just made that error in right field moments ago.
One more look at that slide. Now he's got that throw in front of him, so he knows where the throw is. He's going to decide where he's going to go, and he goes to the outfield side of it, the right field side of it, and gets that hand on and keeps it on. Pretty impressive.
Benintendi, a very strong play in left, but a double for Pierce. Hernandez .316 with 3 home runs. He's been challenged defensively the first couple of games of this series, but he swings a good bat. Last night, Toronto with a dramatic walk-off win. Dramatic for the Blue Jays and the city of Toronto in light of the tragedy on Monday here. They are now 14-8 after their best start in years. Right past him. 1-1. Curtis Granderson, a hero last night. Not only hit the walk-off home run, but he threw Eduardo Nunez out at home plate to end the 9th inning. Top half of the 9th. Two and one.
A couple of these pitches early in the game for both sides, the Sanchez and Rodriguez, have been borderline strikes on the corner, but not going that way.
Eduardo coming off back-to-back victories over Baltimore and the Angels. Beat Anaheim on this trip. Granderson last night.
LAC Granderson last night getting that line drive from Brock Holt, makes a perfect throw to the inside part of home plate. They get an easy out there, and then that was it right there. That was the game.
Home run in the 10th off of Craig Kimbrell of all people. And a high pop to right. Betts a little back. Now coming in. Runner holding at second base. Not going to challenge Mookie Betts. So Hernandez pops up. Time for the rest of the Blue Jay lineup. Smoke is about to hit. Solarte will follow, and then Morales the DH. Russell Martin does the catching. Pilar's in center. Lourdes Gurriel is at second base. And Aldibus Diaz is the shortstop and the number 9 hitter.
I love what Mookie Betts did on that play, on that fly ball to right field. You know, you hit a fly ball to the opposite field. As a runner at second base, you think you can probably tag, but the way Betts played it coming in to make the catch, that immediately cuts off any chance of tagging up.
Smoke batting .228. He scuffled early this season after a great year last year with 38 homers. He'll take ball 1.
Here's the play I was talking about. The fly ball, you know, you go back, you're going to tag up. Now watch Betts. He's going back. Then he starts to come in, and all momentum going toward third base. So there's no way you're going to try to attempt to go to third on that.
One nothing in tight. In Anaheim, Rodriguez went 6 innings. He allowed 2 runs, just 3 hits, struck out 5. Red Sox won the game 8-2. And looking to follow up another strong Rick Porcello start. Both of last night's starters pitched exceptionally well. No decision for either guy. Snagged by Devers along the line. He pumps, throws, and throw it away. Off into the stands, and a run is in to score. Smoke will be allowed to take second base on a miscue by Devers. This one tied 1-1.
You know, Devers made the backhanded play, then looked up, and he was looking to see if Hanley was at the bag yet, because Hanley was playing about halfway between first and second. Now there's the nice play by Devers there, but when he gets up to make the throw, you see the double pump. Now I wonder if that was because the runner was in front of him, or he didn't see Hanley at first base yet. I got to believe maybe it was the runner that was in front of him that threw him off, because he's ready to throw, then he double pumps and he lets it fly.
So the rule, a base hit on Smoke and an error to allow him to reach second base, and a run to score. High fly ball off the bat of Solarte, backing up Benintendi. And there to make the catch back to second base goes Smoke.
Let's take a look at the Red Sox defense. They're the best in the American League. 4 errors, well now 5 errors in 22 games. Rafael Devers at third base, Brock Holt the shortstop, Eduardo Nunez at second, and Hanley the first baseman. Left to right, Benintendi, Bradley Jr., Betts, and Christian Vasquez doing the catching for Rodriguez.
So a run in to tie it at 1. Morales will climb in 229, a homer. He's driven in 7. Spent some time on the disabled list recently with a hamstring. And hitting .333 off lefties. He went for the downs. He tried to hit that 450 feet. Strike 1.
I'm watching Hanley at first base where he's playing, and he's about halfway between first base and second base. Any ball to the infield, he's got to really hustle to get over to first base. Look where he's playing.
Two down and the 0-1 to Morales. Well, Rodriguez trying to turn around his history against Toronto. He's 1-3 lifetime against them. .567 the ERA. That's in 7 starts against the Blue Jays. Smoke at second. 1-2.
His fastball is most effective when it's high in the zone, and that time it was up high and fouled off by Morales. That's where he gets a lot of swings and misses.
And a 1-2 to the designated hitter. Russell Martin on deck for the Blue Jays. We're knotted up at 1. Mookie Betts with a home run right out of the gate for the Red Sox again. And Rodriguez looking for that first K in the book tonight. He buried that one and blocked by Vasquez.
Nice job by Vasquez. That was a changeup that time by Rodriguez, and of course changeups you expect to be down and possibly in the dirt, so you know Vasquez gets himself in a good position to make that block. Not trying to catch it, just trying to keep it in front of him.
And a lefty with a 3-2 pitch to Kendrys Morales. He gets him. He struck him out. 1 run in, tied at 1. Well, a handful of Sox fans in the stands. Not a big crowd at all, obviously. We told you about all the things going on involving Toronto sports tonight, both in Canada and in the U.S. and in Mexico. Nunez looked to hold up, but a swing and a miss, strike one, underway in the second inning. Tied at 1-1. But delighted to have you with us here on NESN Plus. Jerry Remy, Dave O'Brien, and Garen Austin. 0-2. Nunez 1 for 4 with an RBI in game one. A rare extra inning defeat for the Red Sox, who had been 18-3 in their previous 21 extra inning games. Pretty extraordinary. He'll go down on strikes, and one man away as Nunez fans. Let's toss it down to Garen.
Thanks, Obi. Well, Xander Bogaerts is on a rehab assignment with Pawtucket, and he had a good night last night. He homered and doubled, and Alex Cora said he talked to him after, and he feels good. Now, Pawtucket is rained out tonight, so Cora said that Bogaerts will meet with doctors tomorrow just to make sure everything is okay, and then they'll have a meeting and go from there. And, guys, Cora said that he really wants to make sure that Bogaerts feels good enough to play at this level, and he doesn't feel like he has to come back. He said Bogaerts' health is what is most important.
I talked to Alex a little bit before tonight's game. He said ideally, in a perfect world, he gets one more game. But I'll bet, it's just my own thought, that Xander Bogaerts, swinging a miss here by Bradley, Xander Bogaerts wants to get right back at it.
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, he's had his night at Pawtucket, and, you know, he'll see the doctors, and that's going to be a big meeting because, you know, if they feel like everything's healed up properly after playing a game, he's going to be begging to get back into the lineup for the Red Sox.
Jackie Bradley checking in at 225 with 2 home runs. Had a hit last night. Pretty good numbers against Sanchez, who can be a buzzsaw when he's really throwing it.
I think when you look at Bogaerts' situation, I think, you know, worst case scenario, you're looking at maybe 2 more minor league games. Well, that's worst case scenario. Best case scenario, he might be playing when we get back home.
And Friday against Kansas City. 1-2. Ground ball to the shift, and Gurriel will have that. 2 down. Red Sox season ticket plans provide fans with the best seats, price, and benefits the Red Sox have to offer. Plans start at 10 games, available right now. For more information, visit redsox.com/season tickets or call 877-RED SOX 9. I should say when the Red Sox come back against Tampa Bay and then Kansas City, the upcoming homestand, then the Red Sox will be right back on the road again for a lengthy trip to Texas, New York, and Toronto. Right back here again. Here's Vasquez as he'll look at strike one, hitting .211, no homers.
You know, one of the unique things about Sanchez is he throws so hard, 94, 95, 96 with that hard sinker, but he also can elevate that sinker, throw it high, and get strikeouts, as he did earlier this inning in Nunez, the first batter he faced. He got a couple of strikes on him. And he threw that pitch up around his shoulders, and he got a swing and miss. Not many sinker ball pitchers can do that.
.02. Could not put him away. Yeah, when healthy, Sanchez is one of the nastier right-handers in the American League. Last year he wasn't, though. He went on the DL 4 times because of a blister and fingernail issues, and his season was really a disaster. Never could fix it. 2-2. Made only 8 starts all of last year. The Blue Jays shut him down in July. In fact, his final start of the season came at Fenway on July 19th. He walked 5 men, gave up 6 hits in 4 innings, and he was done. Bases empty, 2 down. This season so far, no blister or fingernail problems for the righty. 2-2. All filled up here on Vasquez. Christian had a key walk in the 9th inning last night to load up the bases.
They put up a real good at bat there late in the ball game.
Foul tip to the mid, struck him out. Red Sox go in order. Jim Rice hit his 382nd and final career home run in an 11-0 romp over the White Sox at Fenway on his way to Cooperstown.
Jim probably remembers that. I wonder if that was a breaking ball. Jim could hit breaking balls a long way.
A long way. Caught a few of those in the bleachers as a kid at Fenway. Well, they bounced around and I picked it up. Mad scramble for them.
I was just going to challenge on that. A couple of them.
Yeah. Right. Well, here's Russell Martin. Leading off here in the bottom of the second. We're tied up 1-1. Martin hitting just $140 with 2 home runs, a native of Canada. Strike. This is a guy they can actually move out to play third base on occasion. Got a pretty good glove. Pilar on deck, and then Gurriel for Toronto. Ground ball routine to Nunez. Gobbles it up. 1 away in the second.
Tomorrow at 6:30, don't miss Red Sox Game Day Live, presented by DCU. TC and Steve will preview Tuesday's matchup between Chris Sale and Marco Estrada. DCU, Digital Federal Credit Union. What can DCU save you?
Good matchup there. Though Estrada right now has a sky-high ERA of 5.32, very high for him. Chris Sale in line for him, 1.86. Pilar hitting .301, jumps back out of the way. It wasn't that long ago they had a game postponed here at Rogers Center because of the ice storm that punctured a hole in the roof. And the Blue Jays game that evening against Kansas City was postponed. This was pretty bizarre. You play a game indoors and it gets postponed.
Wow. Putting the canopies and everything.
They tried to play it. They tried to fix it, but realized it was going to be unsafe. Finally did get that hole repaired.
Guys up on the top of the roof fixing that thing?
Yes.
Oh.
They like that job.
No, thank you.
High up there. Well, they did a great job. They've had no issues since then. It's been raining all day today in Toronto. 1-2 hammered foul by Pilar.
They were doing a lot of work on the dirt part of the infield here early this afternoon. They were They had about 5 or 6 different spots that they were digging up and putting in new clay and then new dirt on top of it.
Alex Cora said there was a soft spot at first base yesterday that the players noticed, but they've worked on that area too.
Yeah, they were doing something over there. They were doing something down the third base line, shortstop.
You noticed that when you got to the ballpark about 8 a.m. for breakfast.
Not far off.
Breakfast with Jerry at the ballpark. What time did you actually get here today?
Actually late today, 1 o'clock.
Yeah. Security here was wondering when you were going to get here. They were nervous. The 1-2. That's a rocket. Racing back Benintendi. He's got it. Made that look easy on the run. Benintendi with that catch. Well, that's yeah for you 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I mean that's sleeping in, I think.
But you know, usually I go to the lobby and I sit in the lobby for a couple of hours before the bus, and I thought today was a 1 o'clock bus, so I got down to the lobby about 11. Found out it was a 1:30 bus. I couldn't wait that long. So
no.
About 1 o'clock I zipped over to the ballpark, took a cab here.
Yep.
Very short ride.
You have all your work done before any of us arrive.
I come here and I expect the notes to be ready and the stats to be out, but nobody's here yet.
The PR crew hasn't even arrived.
No, they haven't even got here yet.
They haven't even warmed up the Xerox machine yet.
But I'm the first to get the lineups.
You get them faster than anybody. Sometimes you'll text me at 11 a.m. You want the lineups? I'm in the booth. Where's everybody else?
I'm getting sick in my old age.
You're getting worse. You really are.
I really am.
Got to work on.
It's not healthy, really.
No. 1-1 is inside.
Of course, I've done a lot of things in my life that were not healthy. That's why I'm getting here at 11 o'clock in the morning.
I hear you. 2 down, the base is empty. We're tied up 1-1. Third baseman Devers. That took a rough hop, but he collects guns and not going to get him. Seemed to take a funny hop when it got to Raphael.
It's interesting because that's one of the areas they were working on, exactly where Devers attempted to make that play back there. Now watch, let's see Devers here. First of all, he goes back a couple of steps and the ball just stayed down on him. Remember one last night hit kind of the lip of the dirt and it went up on him. That one stayed down on him. I think that's probably going to go as an error. We'll see. The look at the play at first, very close. I think if he comes up with that clean, obviously he's going to be out at first base.
A pretty good scoop by Hanley. But safe at first, Gurriel. That'll bring up Diaz, and it will be an error. And it'll be the second one of the ball game on Devers. Diaz even at 200 with 4 home runs. So the official scorer reversed a call from a game on April 12th. Red Sox against the Yankees, and took an error away from Raphael. But he's committed 2 tonight. Two down, locked up 1-1. Red Sox came in as the top defensive team in all of baseball and had committed just 5 errors on the year, and then they took 1 back, but now it's up to 6 again. Up 2-6 for the first time. And 5 of those have been committed by the young third baseman.
Yeah, the other, Christian Vasquez, the catcher, has 1.
It's a swing and a miss throw to first base, not in time to get Gurriel. Red Sox at 17-5. That is still the best record in Major League Baseball, even with the 3-game skid. And the highest winning percentage at .773. Red Sox remain number 1 in the big leagues in run differential at +63. 1-2. Rolled to third base. They keep finding him. Devers up and gunning, and got him in plenty of time to retire the side. End of the third, tied up 1-1. Streaks were made to be broken. Make history and win $5.6 million. Download Beat the Streak today in the App Store or on MLB.com/BTS. In the third, Brock Holt to lead it off, then Mookie Betts, who has already slammed a home run, and then Benintendi against Sanchez. Brock coming off an excellent night last night. 3 for 4 at RBI in the ninth inning to tie the game 3-3. Lately he has been Mr. Clutch. He has a game tying hit in the last 2 Red Sox games, both in the 7th inning or later. He also did it on Sunday in Oakland. So 7-game hit streak and a 1-2. Second baseman Gurriel with the stab and a fast out. And now Mookie Betts for the second time. Mookie crushing a home run in the first inning. So going back to last season, Mookie has reached base in 19 consecutive games against Toronto, hitting about .350 against them with 4 homers and 20 RBIs. So they were not excited to see him.
Take a look at 2-0 count back in the first inning. Gets a fastball right down the middle of the plate, and he takes it out of the ballpark for home run number 7 on the season.
Benintendi on deck. Fouled away, 1-2. Sanchez not only struggled with a blister that formed around this time last year, but also a fingernail on his right middle finger that actually required surgery not long after that. And he has had blister trouble both earlier in his career and last year. Said he took about 8 or 9 months just to let it heal. The 2-2. Left it up top, 3-2.
Back-to-back pitches, number 4 and 5, trying to get Betts to chase the high fastball, but he would not.
Now Mookie's homer so far, the Red Sox only hit. This time he strikes out.
Tonight after Red Sox coverage on NESN Sports Today, we'll have a full recap of tonight's Sox game, plus highlights and reaction from Game 7 of the Maple Leafs Bruins playoff series. NESN Sports Today is presented by People's United Bank, where the technology is as helpful as the people. And right now remains a 1-1 game. The Bruins have tied it up.
Now Benintendi will take a strike. Andrew 0 for 1 to fly to center. 224 with the 1 home run. Trying to snap a little 0 for 13 here, and will not do it that way. That's a fair ball, and the Red Sox go very quickly here in the third. featuring all-wheel drive and 3 rows of seats. Love is now bigger than ever this spring. And by Sullivan Tire and Complete Auto Service. Kind of a rainy night here in Toronto. We're tied up 1-1. Bruins and the Leafs also tied up 1-1. In the bottom half of the 3rd inning against Eduardo Rodriguez, they'll get the top of the order. Pierce, Hernandez, and Smoke. Pierce doubled and scored their run in the opening frame. He's their leadoff man tonight. He tags a foul out of play.
You look at the numbers for Pierce against Rodriguez, and coming into the game he was 182 with a home run. Of course, he had that double back in the 1st inning.
Oh, 1 couldn't get it.
Good changeup, probably the best changeup Rodriguez has featured so far in the game tonight. Excellent location, outside part of the plate, spinning away from the right-handed hitter and not even close to make contact.
Down he goes with a cut and a miss and a nice fastball at 93 to fan him.
Now fouls the changeup with a high fastball, and I talked about it earlier. Most of his strikeouts with fastballs come up in the strike zone, and that's exactly what he did there. Got it above the belt, got the swing, no contact. See Vasquez up in his crouch. That's where he wanted it, up high.
Brings up Teoscar Hernandez, who's had a difficult time in the outfield, left field and right field. These first couple of nights of the series, was just charged with an error on a drop in right. Last night it was the Hanley Ramirez pop up when Hernandez was in left field, and he never got to it. It's a high fly ball to left field. That's deep. Benintendi back to the track. He is there to make the play. Extremely high, but 2 down.
Don't miss WB Mason Extra Innings live right after the game. TC and Steve will break down key plays of the game, and you'll hear from Eduardo Rodriguez and Alex Cora. Whatever, whenever, wherever. Who but WB Mason?
Smoke will be next. He had a base hit in the 1st inning and then advanced to 2nd on the error by Devers, who's been charged with a couple. Tied up 1-1. Up the middle, deflected by the pitcher. Devers has it. He'll throw on the move, and he got him. Held by Ramirez. And an outstanding play by Rafael Devers on the deflection. Going 1-5-3. Hanley getting a little help up by Vasquez. Yeah, definitely holding the bag there.
Yeah, very nice play right there by Hanley Ramirez.
So we go to break in a 1-1 game. When hip and knee pain force you to sit out, you can visit the joint replacement experts at Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center. Make sure you visit bidmc.org. Fourth inning, we're in a 1-1 tie. Hanley Ramirez at the plate. Just made a really fine play at first base by hanging onto the bag in the stretch. Hot shot off the glove of Rodriguez. Devers reacted very quickly, gathered and gunned, and they got him, and Hanley goes down on a big swing.
Yeah, surprise that time. Back-to-back changeups from Sanchez to Hanley, and the second one completely fooled him. He was expecting a fastball in that count.
Reached on an error by the right fielder first time up, but hit the ball very hard. Dropped by Hernandez.
Take another look at that play to end last inning, and there's the deflection by Rodriguez. A nice barehanded play by Devers, and a great stretch at first base by Hanley Ramirez. Contact with the bag, and then falls maybe on his wrist a little bit. 4 straight changeups.
And down he goes on strikes. One away in the fourth.
4 straight changeups he threw to Hanley Ramirez, and he gets them right there. Didn't expect that. I mean, how many times? The only guy I can remember throwing 4 or 5 straight changeups was Pedro Martinez. He could tell you his changeup was coming, and you couldn't hit it.
5 strikeouts for Sanchez brings up Martinez, who hit into a fielder's choice first time up. Red Sox only run on a Mookie Betts blast to start it. Mookie's 14th career leadoff home run. Martinez trying to bust out of an 0 for 12, and he does with a base hit up the middle. So JD is on with 1 away here in the fourth.
He got a changeup also, but did a good job staying back on it, take it right back up the middle for the base hit. Not exactly the location Sanchez wanted on that pitch. That was about 91 miles an hour, that off-speed pitch.
This could be a fun matchup to watch for quite a while to come. Devers against Sanchez. Hard throwing right-hander with excellent stuff, and Devers, terrific young hitter with outstanding power. Both guys like to attack. Devers struck out first inning. 1-1. Last game of the road trip coming up tomorrow night, 7:07. Chris Sale against Marco Estrada. And the Red Sox coming home against Tampa Bay and the Royals. Lunging, and he popped him up into left field. Pierce coming in. And that'll be the second out. This Sunday is on-field photo day at Fenway. Fans will have the opportunity to take photos before the game with Sox players around the warning track. For tickets and more information, you can visit redsox.com/tickets. Always a very popular day at Fenway.
You know, this is only the 4th inning, and Sanchez has already thrown 22 changeups in this game tonight. That was a changeup he threw to Devers to get the fly ball to left field.
95 with that Swifty. Nunez struck out in second inning. Eduardo 0 for 1. Sox trying to get back into the win column. It's been a little while. Not unusual for a club of any caliber to drop a game or two after a long winning streak. The Red Sox, it's been 3 in a row. Backing up Solarte with a lengthy throw, and scooped up there by Smoke at first base. 1 man left. think a walk-off home run or the final out of the no-hitter. Text 1 for a walk-off homer, 2 for the final out of the no-no. Text your answer to 536-536. Message and data rates may apply. 1 message per vote.
I got to go with no hitter on that. I mean, how many no hitters do you see? And you see quite a few walk. As a matter of fact, I didn't like the walk-off home run last night.
No, that was not a lot of fun. Not from a Red Sox point of view for sure. Hit by Granderson. So we're going to go with the final out of the no-hitter. On our side, we'll see how you vote on that. As Solarte will lead things off. He's 0 for 1, a fly to left. We're tied 1-1 in the 4th inning. That was the 10th no-hitter I've called. And I tend to forget the ones against, like, my club, you know. But they come back after a while. Comebacker up the middle now. Nunez from the other side of the bag. We'll get him with plenty to spare. 1 man gone.
I've been involved in quite a few no-hitters, both on the good side and the bad side of them as a player. And then quite a few as a broadcaster too. I can't remember exactly how many.
Yeah, you got to count those up. I want to hear about how many you've called. You've been a bunch of them.
I'm gonna have to think about that. I would say at least 4 as a broadcaster, and quite a few. And I was on the wrong side of a few on as a player.
Morales 0 for 1, struck out. Did you have that feeling, the ones who were involved in as a player against you, as you're hitting against this guy?
Yeah.
Early in the game that it was going to happen?
No, not really. You know, not until about the 6th, 7th inning, and the guy's dealing.
Hard hit. Hold down for it. Steadies, throws, and that is out number 2.
You know, and then you get to a point where you want to be the guy to break it up. You know, you want to keep getting some at bats because you don't want to have a no-hitter pitch against you, so you're anxious to get to the plate and try to break up that no-hitter. I told a story once before. I broke one up with the Angels against Kevin Brett, who was pitching for the White Sox that time, and they ruled it a base hit. It was a little ground ball to third base that the play should have been made, and he really got robbed of a no-hitter on that. They gave me a base hit. It should not have been a base hit.
Was your hit?
Yeah. Yep.
Russell Martin 0 for 1. He's tapped to second.
Needless to say, I did not go to the score and say, you know, that probably should.
Yeah. You know, out of the goodness of my heart, I want all hits to be justified, and you know, why don't you just take that away? That didn't happen. Two down, bases clean. Red Sox 1 and Toronto 1. Little dribbler here up the first base line. Rodriguez will have it, flip it, and get him. 1, 2, 3 they go in the 4th. And Nesson is brought to you in part by Ace Ticket, Red Sox fans' trusted source for tickets with lower prices, better service, and a great selection. Tickets to all Sox games and concerts at Fenway are available right now at aceticket.com. Jerry Remy, Dave O'Brien, Garrett Austin from Rogers Center. And a 1-1 game. Once again, very well pitched. Jackie Bradley is 0 for 1 as he'll lead it off here in the 5th against Sanchez. He's allowed 2 hits. Eduardo Rodriguez just 2 hits. Last night exceptionally well pitched by both starters. Happ and Porcello.
Like Jackie wanted to try to maybe drop one down that third base line where he's got Solarte back well behind the in the shift and well behind the bag, but the pitch not even close. It was a changeup, not even close to being a strike or something buntable.
Jackie 7 for 25 with a couple of home runs on a triple. He can bunt his way on, but he fouls it away.
I like that. You know, on a 2-0 count now like that, he expects probably to get a fastball, and that's kind of what you time your bunts on. And he's got a lot of green grass on the left side of the infield. Why not give it a shot?
Jackie likes to hit here. His last 5 games in Toronto, he's hitting .435 with a home run. Shift around to the right against Bradley, the left-hand hitter, and the 2-1 from Sanchez. He's not walked anybody. Vasquez and then Holt to follow. Bottom third of the order for the Red Sox in a 1-1 game. And he's walked him. So Jackie is on. Good start for the Red Sox here in the 5th inning. Christian Vasquez next, and Monday, April 30th is Christian Vasquez Gnome Night at Fenway. First 10,000 fans in attendance receive a Vasquez Gnome courtesy of Benjamin Moore. For tickets and more info, visit redsox.com/promos.
Now this is a combination day where you could put on a hit and run play. Remember now, the pitcher is a ground ball pitcher. I know he does throw hard, but you know there is a situation here where you could possibly get some movement at first base, and Vasquez is a pretty good hit and run man. Well, it's a lot of that depends on the count. Now with the count to 0-1, it becomes a little bit tougher to put that play on. You're trying to get a pitch that you know is going to be a strike.
One inside and hit him. He's going to take his base. Vasquez, you heard him groan there as he got plunked by the pitch, and the Red Sox will have runners at first and second without benefit of a hit.
Looks like this ball ran right back in on his elbow. Yeah, that right elbow. That's his throwing arm. He's got a, does he have a guard on that? Looks like it does. Well, maybe not. Maybe it's just a wristband.
Not a lot of protection there. But he's aboard.
Now the Red Sox, how do they play this? First and second, nobody out. Tight ball game. Do they, one of their hottest hitters of the plate, and hope, do they sacrifice him? Certainly the Blue Jays are expecting a sacrifice.
7-game hitting streak for Brock. He's not bunting. At least not yet. He takes ball 1. Hitting .414 during this hitting streak. The hitting streak began the day after he cut his hair. And you know that he knows there's definitely something to it. The 1-0. A strike.
I think a little upset with himself that he took that pitch. That was a pretty good pitch to swing at right there. Back down, look for another set of signs. See what they do with the 1-1 count. That's a pretty good hittable pitch right there. Senka coming back to the inside corner.
Bradley at second, Vasquez on at first. Brock told us that he went on a Jimmy Fund visit with Blake Swihart, and one of the kids there at the Jimmy Fund said, "Are you Blake Swihart's wife?" With the long hair. And he cut it the next day. He said that was the end of that with the long hair. Gone hot with the bat since. Runners go, and there's a fly ball left field, and the left fielder fell down. That ball is going to drop in the alley, and now Bradley trying to score. He was nearly passed by Vasquez. He will touch home plate. Vasquez stopping at third, and a lot of stuff happened there, but the left fielder Pierce fell down as he went to chase the ball into the alley, and the Red Sox have a 2-1 lead.
Well, that was very strange right there. Get the runners moving, and you can see the pitch right here going away from Brock Holt. Now, with the runners off, there seemed to be some confusion with Jackie. He was going to hold up. He tagged third. He went back, but then he looked and said, wait a minute, nobody's going to catch us. And Vasquez did a smart thing. He held up. He almost ran right by him. He would have been out.
Yeah, that was cagey to avoid that.
Yeah, Vasquez knew all the time it was going to drop in, but Bradley was on his way back to second base, not sure if the ball was going to be caught. And now I think Gibbons is going to come out and ask about that to see if Vasquez did go by Bradley.
This happened in a recent game when Devin Marrero, now of the Arizona Diamondbacks, hit what everybody thought was a home run. It was over the wall. And they wound up taking it back because he was passed on the base pass. Now, Jackie, take a look heading back.
Okay, now does Vasquez pass him? No, not according to that.
Well, they are going to review here.
Boy, that was a stumble out there by Pierce out in left field immediately that helped that ball drop in. But from our angle, you could never see that the last angle we showed, you could see that Vasquez was not really that close to him.
Yeah, Sanchez was pointing immediately saying he passed him, he passed him. From his angle, maybe it looked that way. From up here, it did not. See what the umpires see in review in New York.
There's Bradley going back. Now he realizes the ball's going to drop in. He looks back and he sees Vasquez. But he did not pass him. Not according to that angle.
And the umpires agree. Did not pass him, so it remains 2-1.
Yeah, I think it's worth a challenge. There's no question about that.
No
Why
doubt.
not?
Yep.
But it was pretty clear and evident that did not happen. So the Red Sox in big time business here. They got a run in, they got second and third, they got nobody out, and they got best of the plate.
8-game hitting streak now for Brock Holt, who is on fire, and now Mookie Betts, who has cracked a home run and struck out. Second and third, nobody out. The kind of innings that the Red Sox put together routinely during the long winning streaks. They put up big time crooked numbers in situations like this and really get a starter on the ropes.
And I was wondering, you know, and I'm not clear on this, but I wondered if Pierce in left field, because the runners were off, was taking off a little bit toward like the backup third base, and then had to, you know, then fell on the way back trying to get the baseball.
Zipped in there for a strike. Yeah, how much different that play would have been had he been able to maintain his footing.
Yeah, he probably would have caught that ball.
I think so. Went for a double. The Red Sox are getting a little bit of help from the Toronto outfielders because Hernandez and Wright's already dropped the ball on a line drive. And a high fly to Hernandez. Vasquez back to tag. Hernandez getting under. And he's going to be stopped there as the throw comes in and cut off by the first baseman. So he'll be the first out of the inning.
Take one more look at Pierce out in left field when the runners take off. Does he come in a little bit? It's hard to tell. It looked like he might have came in a little bit, you know, to back up third base in case there was a throw, and then he just couldn't get his balance as he was going back. There's no way Pilar could catch up to him from where he was playing. Anyway, a break for the Red Sox right there.
Well, Benintendi could really stand to get a hit here. He's 0 for 2. 0 for 7 so far in the series. 0 for his last 14. Second and third, just one man out. Red Sox ahead 2-1.
Infield back too, with the exception of third and first base. So a ground ball to second and short's going to score a run.
Well, they already have activity in the bullpen for Toronto. They have Aaron Loop warming up, the left-hander. This has been a rough inning for Sanchez. A walk, a hit batsman, a fortuitous double. Now Benintendi trying to add at least one more run. And a strike as he took something off the changeup. 2-1. Sanchez up to 80 pitches with this one. And a high fly down the left field line, but that'll slice out of play. Benintendi in his brief major league career has been very good with runners in scoring position. He's hitting .349. Base hit here, scores one for sure. Three and two. Aaron Sanchez bit on the ropes here with Hanley on deck. Sanchez named an all-star back in 2016 when he went 15-2 for Toronto. Breakout season for him. Let it go, and that's going to be ball 4. So Benintendi, who's been walking a lot, is on again. Second walk in the inning for Sanchez, and they're going to be loaded up. And Pete Walker, their pitching coach, will pay a mound visit.
Yeah, they tried to get it go upstairs with that fastball. They got him up there a couple of times last night, but that was the left-hander, Jay Happ. This last pitch goes up high, but Benintendi starts at it but checks the swing. Red Sox with an opportunity here to open up this game right now. Key at bats in a ball game.
Sanchez, a look at his pitching line. A little wild in this inning with 2 walks, and he's hit a batter. And the pitch count beginning to climb up there. Now Hanley has reached on an error. Drop ball by Hernandez in right and struck out. One away. No place to put him. So a great chance for the Red Sox to add on. Get some separation here in Toronto. To the second baseman, Gurriel, to Diaz, on to first, and got him for the double play. So the Red Sox have to settle for the 1 run. Now it's time to turn it over to Adam and Casey for the mid-5th studio show. behalf of Eduardo Rodriguez. You know, it's winning Wednesday, and if the Red Sox win tonight, Pine Ridge Park Casino will donate $777 to the Relay for Life of North Attleboro. Kind of a frustrating inning for the Sox, though. They had a chance to really bust it open and get just the one run on the double by Brock Holt. And the bases loaded, one down. Hanley hits into the double play, so 2-1 lead. And Rodriguez will get the bottom third of the order here for the Blue Jays. Pilar, Gurriel, and Diaz. At the midway point tonight here in Toronto. Pilar 0 for 1. He's lined to right. And a 9-game hitting streak snapped over the weekend against the Yankees. They lost 3 out of 4. That was their first series loss. For the Red Sox, their first series loss came in Oakland. As the Sox dropped 2 out of 3 there, now trying to end a 3-game skid here tonight. Toward third, Devers has been a busy guy on the move in time. So 1 man away. Let's get out to Garrett Austin.
Jerry, while most people in Toronto and Boston have been focused on the Bruins Maple Leaf game, several players in the clubhouse were watching soccer today. Eduardo Rodriguez, Christian Vasquez, Sandy Leon, and Marco Hernandez were glued to the TV for the Bayern Munich Real Madrid match. Now, these are very passionate soccer fans, and Leon was telling me that he was cheering for Bayern Munich while the other players were cheering for Real Madrid. He lost, and Vasquez was so excited, guys. They said they had to FaceTime with Bogey. So these are some passionate soccer fans in the Red Sox clubhouse.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody bigger than Bogey, as you know, Garen. I mean, he'll walk around in a soccer jersey leading up to game time until he has to get into his Red Sox jersey. Serious soccer fan. Gurriel with a foul ball. He's reached on an error. So everything going on in sports around Toronto teams, basketball and soccer, baseball and hockey. The attention of the city really split. I'd say the vast majority probably watching the hockey match tonight, watching that game. Game 7 is a game 7. Bruins 3-2 after period. Here comes the 1-2 to Gurriel, and he won't chase it. Sox up here 2-1. Eduardo is 2-0. Back-to-back wins for him. Up the middle. Nunez backs up. Fires. Did he hang on to the bag? He did not. He came off. Anthony Ramirez coming off first base had to go and get it.
Looked like Nunez to me on that play had a chance maybe to set himself a little better than what he actually did. And you see the ball up the outfield side, and Hanley could not keep contact with the bag. But right there, he gets rid of the ball very quickly, and it sails on him. And then Hanley clearly having to leave the bag. It's almost like if he could have taken an extra step to line up with first base, he may have been able to get him in time.
Now they're going to rule it a base hit.
Yep, I agree.
So 1-out single for Gurriel brings up Diaz. He is grounded to short. Does not have many hits this season, just 13, but 6 of them have gone for extra bases, a couple of doubles and 4 home runs. In fact, he homered in back-to-back games against the White Sox. So now Rodriguez looking for a double play ball. Runner goes. Cut on and missed, and safely down to second base is Gurriel on the pitch down into the dirt.
Looked like they were playing a little hit and run on that play, but he got a changeup that time that was down in the dirt. Very difficult pitch to make contact on. And you know, a lot of times if you got the hit and run play on, if the ball goes in the dirt, they tell you don't swing, because the runner at second base is probably going to be safe anyway.
Gurriel with his first career stolen base. So into scoring position with one away and the 1-1.
Was that ball right by him on the outside part of the plate. Followed the changeup up with the fastball away. Very late swing.
One two to the number 9 hitter. Another one he skipped up there. Nice block by Vasquez. Last year Rodriguez went 4-1 with a 2.77 ERA to start his season. That was by the end of May, but then on June 1st he was forced to the disabled list when his knee buckled in the bullpen at Camden Yards, eventually leading to offseason surgery. And after a delayed start this season, he's pitched well. Man at second with one gone and a 2-2 offering. He's filled up the count. Including tonight, Sox have 6 games left in April. They are 1 win shy of the franchise record for wins before May 1st. Sox twice have won 18 before the 1st of May. Hooked on the ground to a busy Devers, runner holding at second, on target for the out.
Tomorrow at 6, don't miss Red Sox first pitch, presented by Joseph Abboud, available at Men's Warehouse. TC, Jim, and Steve will preview the Blue Jays series finale.
Chris Sale, so it'll be a Sale night against Marco Estrada. 2 down, a man at second. Steve Pearce now double and a strikeout. He scored their only run in the first inning after the Red Sox had scored in the first inning on the home run by Mookie Betts. Mookie's 7th. So Rodriguez trying to hold and fires high, ball 1. Pierce, a little bit of pop. He's hit 3 homers. He's the man, the left fielder, who slipped and fell on the Brock Holt double. As the Red Sox got in Jackie Bradley in the top half of this inning to take the lead. The 2-0. Now 3 balls, no strikes. He hasn't walked anybody. Has to come all the way back now against Steve Pearce.
I wouldn't be surprised Pearce has the green light on the 3-0 count. Kind of guy that can take the ball out of the ballpark.
Gurriel getting his lead at second, and the 3-0. Did not throw him a fastball. It was a change.
And change up, so a good take if you had the green light. Change up actually was supposed to be away, but it stayed on the inside part of the plate.
See what he gets on 3-1. Hitters count for Pearce, and here it comes. Off speed again.
Another good changeup from Rodriguez. Fastball count again, does not get it, gets the off speed pitch out in front of it.
Alex Spear talking about the changeup, slider, and cutter rate for the left-hander. Can also throw about 95. And the 3-2 trying to come all the way back. Line into left field. That's down for a base hit. Gurriel trying to score. Benintendi's throw to the plate will not be in time. And the game is tied 2-2. Here's with his second hit tonight. And all even here in Toronto.
Now, one advantage you have with 2 outs, you know, as soon as contact is made, you're off at second base, and that's going to help in this situation because Benintendi put a good charge on the ball. It looked like a changeup again, something off speed. And it was, you can see right there, Benintendi's got the ball as he tags third. But because you could get those extra few steps on contact, that's why he's safe at home plate.
So Pierce drives in to run. Hernandez next. He's flied out twice, once to right, once to left. Two hits in the inning and a key stolen base. Toronto now ahead in hits 4-3. And the 0-1. Hard hit and a foul ball. Not by much, but ruled foul by the third base umpire Ayasagna.
And third base coach is looking at the dugout. They want him to look at that. He thought that was a fair ball. Let's take a look down the line. It's hooking, and is it fair or foul? Clearly foul.
So 0-2 on Teoscar Hernandez. Who was picked up in the Francisco Liriano trade from Houston. One of the new faces for the Blue Jays this year. Very different looking ball club from a year ago. And the 0-2 tried to hold up, and he did. Strange to come to Toronto and Josh Donaldson isn't playing. Third baseman for the Blue Jays because of a throwing problem. A dead arm is on the disabled list, and it might be a while before they see him. He just started a throwing program. 1-2 towards short, through for a base hit. Hernandez is on. Pearson to second base. That's their third hit of the inning. See if that gets the Red Sox bullpen started.
Yeah, a little cut fastball that time that was taken in that hole between third and short. They wanted to go on the outside corner with it, but it stays inside, middle of the plate, and Hernandez able to pull that ball for the base hit.
Mound visit here from Dana Levangie.
And it looks like there is some stirring around going on down in the Red Sox bullpen. But right now, just the conversation between Levangie he's had with Rodriguez.
So 2 men on for Justin Smoke, who has a base hit. And he's also grounded out. Hit a sharp ground ball up the middle that Rodriguez deflected in the third inning. Devers then quickly got to it, fired on the run to get the man at first base. It was an outstanding play by Devers, who's had an awful lot hit his way in tonight's game. 2 down. He had to dance out of the way. No one throwing yet in the Red Sox bullpen. So it's Pierce down to second, Hernandez at first. Both with 2 out singles against Rodriguez. A foul off the end of the bat.
We've seen an awful lot of off-speed pitches, cutters, change-ups from Rodriguez in this inning. Not too many fastballs at all. It's like the change-up again right toward the end of the bat.
This has been the longest inning of the ball game for the lefty so far. Runs it inside for a ball. So Solarte on deck. You'd figure if he walks him or allows him to reach, that Alex Cora will get somebody warming in that pen. So far 5 Toronto hits, 3 of them in this inning. Here's the 2-1 to the third baseman again. Devers gets him at second base to retire the side. 1 run in to tie it. CVS Health is investing $50 million over 5 years to extend their commitment to helping people lead tobacco-free lives. You can learn more at cvshealth.com/be the first. And another hit batsman as Martinez gets spun around and hit. Vasquez got hit last inning. So the second Red Sox hitter to get nailed by Sanchez.
Yeah, very similar too inside, coming inside with that two-seam fastball, and that time right off the side of the whatever you call it, the oblique.
Good use of oblique, by the way.
Oblique.
Devers is struck out, flied out. He's had 7 ground balls hit to him already tonight. Trying to do some damage with the bat here against Sanchez, who's now up to 85 pitches. They've had activity in the bullpen. The Red Sox have not had anyone throwing. 2-2 game. Oh, 0-2. Red Sox are 3-0 in Eduardo Rodriguez 3 starts to date. Martinez with the lead, nobody out, but 1 away now as Devers strikes out. Time for a game break. Brought to you by George's, the furniture store, the Boston Red Sox. Here's Tom Caron. Came in as the top RBI man in the league with 27, and he's adding on. He is some player.
He certainly is.
There's Nunez. He struck out and grounded out. 0-for-2. Lines a foul for strike.
Remember the first year that he took Derek Jeter's place at shortstop for the Yankees, and you know there wasn't much talk about Didi Gregorius, but he's got better and better and better and better every single year that he's played there. To a point.
Last year's best year. Yeah, last year's best year.
Yeah.
Looks like he means to top it. The 0-1. Eduardo not too sure on that call by Scott Barry. Red Sox have struck out 6 times tonight and make it 7 after striking out a season high 14 times last night.
Well, Friday at 5:30, don't miss Friday Night Fenway presented by Budweiser. TC will have an exclusive interview with manager Alex Cora. Be sure to visit the baseball tab on Friday before the game for a chance to win Budweiser baseball giveaways. Budweiser, legendary lager for legendary moments. Now, you know, they've got 2 guys this inning. You see how high they set up the catcher's mitt. They want the high fastball. That's how they got Devers, and that's also how they got Nunez, both with high fastballs.
Jackie Bradley taking ball 1. He did walk in the 5th and scored a run. On a pretty bizarre play. Brock Holt wound up with a double into left center after the left fielder fell down giving chase. Jackie had gone all the way down to third base, went to double back, and Vasquez, who was on the run as the trail runner behind him, came close to passing him but did not. After review they determined he did not. Count 2-1. Look at that play.
That was kind of a strange one because Bradley was off with the pitch, and then he looks at the fly ball, wasn't sure whether it was going to be caught or not. Then had to readjust. And that quick first step and a little bit of a hold up by Vasquez made the difference.
2-2. Now Sanchez hit the leadoff man Martinez. Since then he has struck out Devers and Nunez. And now 2-2 on Jackie Bradley. Just got a piece of it. They like to go to the high heat on Jackie with a couple of strikes in particular.
They sure do. You know, because against this guy, you're looking for the ball down, and instead he's giving you this 95, 96 that's going to be up and around the letters and sometimes higher.
Danny Barnes throwing in their bullpen, and that's in there for strike 3. And he came back with a curveball to freeze him, and he strikes out 3 in a row.
strikeouts in a row. He gets Devers on a high fastball, a higher fastball to Nunez, and then he drops the curveball on Bradley. We have not seen too many of those tonight from Sanchez. He saved it for a good time.
Old Dominion, the official freight carrier of Major League Baseball and the Boston Red Sox. So Sanchez just struck out 3 in a row. He has 8 in the ball game. 96 pitches. Bullpen activity certainly looking like he may be done. Solarte will lead things off here against Erod. Solarte has flied out and grounded to short. High deep drive into left field. That's carrying back, and forget about it. She's gone. And Toronto takes a 3-2 lead on a home run by Solarte. That'll be his 6th. He has good power.
That was a hanging something. I don't know if it was a slider or a cut fastball, but it was hanging up high, and Solarte jumps all over it. Here's the pitch right there. Looks like to be a slider, and just stays up about belt high right over the middle of the plate.
Morales with a line drive, scooped up by Nunez off the dirt, and he's got him. Well, Solarte is a lively guy. So you watch him around the bases. He's sort of become their unofficial team mascot with his personality. He's exuberant. Six home runs already. And Hervis Solarte. So that'll send up Russell Martin. He's gone 0 for 2 with a couple of ground ball outs. 3-2 Toronto. They've out hit the Sox 6-3. And watch Solarte rounding third base. Interesting home run trot. Teammates love him.
Opponents don't like it.
And opponents I don't think like it very much. But
did you see Gomez the other day at home plate?
No.
Oh my goodness, what a show that was.
Usually is.
Down in Tampa Bay.
Carlos Gomez rolled foul.
It was like a choreographed act all around the bases. It was unbelievable.
He's flamboyant.
Yes, he is. That he's been his whole career.
Can rub some people the wrong way, but Solarte pretty popular here in Toronto. And a 1-2 to Martin. Fought off foul. Base is empty, 1 down. His pitch 81 for Eduardo. And he skipped it up there. So far tonight he has struck out 2. He hasn't walked anybody. His pitching line brought to you by Ace Ticket. Through 5 and a third. Trying to get Martin to 2-2. And dropped, and it is ball 3. Blue Jays winners in game 1 last night on a walk-off home run in the 10th inning by Curtis Granderson, who is not playing tonight, not yet anyway. Popped up down the right field line, but that is out of play.
Plus last night Granderson with that big home run off Kimbrel got a fastball right down the middle and hooked it a long way. That's up over that second deck out there in right field.
The lefty with a 3-2. And he walked it. That's the first one of the contest for Eduardo Rodriguez. Get excited, America. Dunkin' go-tos are here. 2 breakfast sandwiches for $2, $3, or $5. America runs on Dunkin'. Participation may vary. Limited time offer and restrictions apply. So a base runner here with 1 away. Pilar, the hitter. He's gone 0 for 2. Red Sox ranking 2nd in the major leagues in starter ERA at 2.51, trailing only Houston. The Astros with a 2.30 ERA from their starters. Not many walks from the Red Sox staff, that's for sure. They lead the American League in strikeout to walk ratio. Throwing a lot of strikes. Right now, Eduardo would like to dial up a double play ball. Red Sox had to rally last night to tie the game in the 9th inning at 3-3. Eventually falling in extra innings, but they've enjoyed playing here over the years at Rogers Center. They have the best winning percentage of any visiting ball club at .560. They were 8-1 here last year. Really settled in.
They're doing a pretty good job tonight of staying off that cut fastball, slider, whatever it is that's inside. A couple of those pitches inside. A lot of times those right-handers will swing it over, but not happening in this game tonight.
One out, one on. Activity in the Sox pen. Hembry is getting going for the first time. Fly ball to left. Benintendi will close the gap on that. And they're 2 down.
Stay on top of the latest Red Sox news with NESN's free Red Sox text alerts. From breaking news to in-game alerts, NESN will make sure you are in the know. To sign up, just text Red Sox to 536-536. Message and data rates may apply.
Gurriel next. He had an infield hit, scored a run after stolen base in the 5th inning. He's also reached on an error by Rafael Devers, who's had a ton of ground balls hit his way tonight. None in this inning. So Lardy is homered in this frame to make it 3-2 Toronto. That's fouled away. You bring up an interesting point about cutter, slider.
Yeah.
And how tough it can be to tell the difference.
Yeah, you know, Rodriguez is tough because he throws both. And obviously the slider breaks a little bit more than the cutter, but sometimes if it's not really on, it's hard to tell the difference.
Long look in here against Gurriel. He's the number 8 hitter. 2 down. Gurriel made his major league debut on Friday against the Yankees, and he went 2 for 5 with 3 RBIs. He's from Cuba. He's got a man at first and a 1-1 coming. Lourdes Gurriel. He played last year at Double-A in the Toronto system alongside Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and Bo Bichette. They were all together in the Eastern League. 3 of their top prospects. Of course, the other 2 guys are sons of big leaguers. Very good hitters. It won't be long before they're all here at the major league level for the Toronto team. Of course, Vladimir Guerrero just got into the Hall of Fame. He played in Montreal for a long time. Back when Canada had 2 major league clubs. Here's the 1-2. Socked into left field, but it hangs up, not deep. Benintendi to make the catch. A home run has made it 3-2 Toronto. don't miss a game, especially when the Red Sox are out on the road. You can import the NESN Red Sox schedule on any device. Get those alerts 15 minutes prior to each game with matchup info, streaks, and a lot more. Visit NESN.com/schedule to import it. Presented by Franklin Sports, the official batting glove of the Red Sox. Randall Grichuk now in the ball game. He's going to play right field. That'll move Hernandez from right to left. Pierce now out of the game. And Barnes will be the new pitcher, the right-hander who works from the stretch. As we go to the 7th inning, Red Sox down a run, 3-2, and Vasquez to lead it off. Christian has struck out, and he's been hit by a pitch. As you look at Danny Barnes' numbers, and they've been very good. So it'll be Vasquez, Brock Holt, and then Mookie Betts. The game began with a Mookie home run. He led off the game with his 7th, a no-doubter off of Aaron Sanchez. Although Sanchez can win the game now. And a 1-1. Fly ball left center field on his horse Pilar, racing back, has room, and he's got it on the warning track. Time now for our high strength steel play, brought to you by your New England Chevy dealers and the Chevy Silverado.
Well, Brock Holt on a hit and run, and a little slip out there by Pierce. The ball gets over his head. A little cross up on the bases, but one run does score, and the Red Sox end up with 2nd and 3rd. That was the only run that came in that inning.
Yeah, Red Sox hit into a double play with the bases loaded. Or it could have been more. Brock with a base hit, a double, and a ground out. Quickly 0-2. And Mookie on deck.
Looks like another changeup.
Up the middle, and that'll get through for a base hit. 2nd hit for Brock Holt. He remains red hot with a bat.
It was a changeup, and not a bad one too. Was down and away from Holt, but he's able to reach out and hook that ball right back up the middle for the base hit. Because once the ball hits the turf here, it picks up speed, or at least it doesn't slow down. And that ball had turf all the way right up the middle for the base hit.
So 1-out single for Betts, who has homered, struck out, and fly to right. And a strike. Mookie with a leadoff home run for a club record 14th time. He has hit 5 home runs on this road trip. High fly right field, well hit. That's back. Grichuk all the way back. That one's gone. Mookie Betts the other way. Oppo here to put the Red Sox in the lead. Mookie striking for the 2nd time tonight to put the Sox in front.
That's one thing you don't see very often. Mookie Betts going deep to the opposite field. Most of the time he pulls the ball for home runs, and that time taking it the other way. Looks like he gets a fastball too, and it's toward the outside part of the plate, and Betts just goes with it. Wow.
We've said that a few times on this trip, huh? 6 home runs on the road trip for Mookie Betts.
8 total now in the season.
It's an MVP kind of start for Mookie Betts. Benintendi 0-for-2, and he has taken ball 4 as well. 2nd home run tonight. He had a 3 home run game on the West Coast. Already in his career, 12 times he's hit more than 1 home run in a game. So the Sox ahead 4-3. The 3-0 drifts in there for a called strike. Last night made a spectacular diving catch in right field to show off some more skills.
Yeah, he's got a few of them to show off, doesn't he?
I like 5. Well, at least 5. Just a pleasure to watch. 3-2 now on Benintendi. Hanley Ramirez on deck. And it is outside for ball 4. He remains patient. His second walk. Hanley Ramirez will be next.
Mookie Betts actually has 6 skills. The 5 baseball skills plus the personality.
Yeah. I would agree. It lights up a ballpark. Hanley in this one has reached on an error by the right fielder on a drop. He's also struck out and hit into a double play. So the Sox in front here in the 7th. And missed badly for ball 1. So 4 runs, 5 hits for the Red Sox, including 2 Mookie Betts home runs. 3 runs, 6 hits, and an error for Toronto. And the 1-0 pitch from the right-hander will not be made. Yeah, Mookie going to left with a no-doubter in the first inning, then to right in the 7th.
Yeah, both on fastballs. He pulled the fastball, goes to the opposite field on a relief pitcher with the fastball.
Runner goes. Here's Martin's throw, and not going to get him. A stolen base for Benintendi. Into scoring territory now for Hanley Ramirez.
He's perfect on the season. 4 stolen bases, has not been caught. Red Sox running at will against the Blue Jays. Getting very good jumps at first base. They don't have a lot of guys that have a quick move to home plate, so it's kind of an invitation to go when you get an opportunity.
So an RBI opportunity for the Red Sox number 3 hitter. Hanley has 16 of them. 16 RBIs, 0 for 3 so far tonight. As the count his way. Now the bullpen is up again. Meza and O warming up side by side for Toronto. Well, Hanley got one to hit. You'd like that back. 2-1.
Yeah, he certainly did. A fastball inside part of the plate on a 2-0 count. That's exactly what he's looking for right there. About 92 miles an hour. That's one he was looking to take deep.
Runner goes. Swung on and missed, but Benintendi into third. And it's 2-2. So another stolen base for Benintendi, his second.
And they're like paying no attention to him. The second baseman was, there was a play on, but the pitcher didn't see it. You could see the second baseman go put out his hand. That means throw to me, please. But the pitcher was so committed to the pitch at home plate, he didn't see it.
So now Hanley can make an out. Fly ball will get this run in. Infield is in for Toronto. 1 man out. Won't chase it. So 3-2 on Ramirez. Martinez on deck. Red Sox trying to get a little separation for the first time. They've been able to grab a couple of leads tonight, but looking for some wiggle room. And a 3-2. Foul away. Still time to register for the 5th annual Watertown Police Finish Strong 5K road race and walk this Sunday. The race initially established because of the events occurring in Watertown following the Boston Marathon bombings. You can sign up at NESN.com/finishstrong.
My guess, even with the infield in, that Benintendi will go on a ground ball to the infield. He'll go on contact.
Yeah, the 3-2. He walked him. That was in tight. So Hanley taking ball 4.
Didn't know it.
The runners at first and third, back-to-back walks here by Barnes. And here comes Gibbons. So he's going to make a move with J.D. Martinez about to swing away. They will go to the bullpen. Sanchez has already been knocked out. Now Barnes is going to leave the contest. Red Sox ahead 4-3, looking for more. We'll take the break and be back in Toronto in just a moment. The Red Sox in Major League Baseball, and by VA Healthcare, serving those who served. Visit NESN.com/veteran to learn more. Back in Toronto, Red Sox ahead here and looking for more. Sonwon Oh from South Korea will make an appearance. A right-hander who last year pitched for the St. Louis Cardinals, went 1-6, an ERA of 4.10 after a very good rookie year. So far he has been pretty tough with a 2.08 ERA. Runners will be at first and third. He inherits those, and J.D. Martinez will be the batter. J.D. on the night, 1 for 2, a base hit, and he has been hit by a pitch. In the inning, a 2-run homer by Mookie Betts, who has hit 2 of them tonight, 2 home runs. So he has accounted for 3 of the 4 Red Sox runs. And Boston looking for a cushion, 1 down and men on the corners. Oh, about 5-10, 205. He skipped it up there. Martin made the play. Ball 1.
He'll throw a lot of sliders. He's got that cross seam fastball, a slider, occasional changeup, and very few curveballs.
He pitched in the Japanese Professional League for a few years. That's hammered foul before coming to the States and pitching for St. Louis the last 2 years. Very early in his career, he had Tommy John surgery. And a 1-1 to Martinez with Hanley Ramirez on at first. And Andrew Benintendi, who has stolen 2 bases in this inning, on at third. Lunging, and he just got a piece of that to flick it foul. 1-2.
That's the slider that time from O. As you can see, it spin out of the hand, and it starts on the outside corner, finishes away, and just getting a piece of it right there. Fouling it off was J.D. Martinez right toward the end of the bat.
And a 1-2 pitch, and he left it up. 2-2.
That's where they wanted to go with that pitch. They wanted a high fastball, but Martinez didn't bite at it.
Red Sox 4-3 on the road trip, trying to end a 3-game skid here tonight. Three and two.
Tried it again, back to back. Up in the attic, didn't go for it.
Yeah, if he walks him, that'll be 3 consecutive walks by the relief corps for Toronto. And the payoff pitch, there goes Hanley, and that's ball 4. They're going to be all loaded up for the Red Sox here. Chance to really bust it open. Want compelling Red Sox coverage at your fingertips? Make sure you follow us at Facebook at Red Sox Nesson for news and rumors and analysis and more. We love those rumors, all with an entertaining and informative Red Sox angle. So the Wolf is at the door for O. Devers will get in 0 for 3 with the bases loaded. Red Sox already have hit 5 grand slams this year, and he has one of them.
And if he brings that breaking ball in about 4 or 5 inches to the plate, you might see another grand slam.
Benintendi, Ramirez, Martinez loading him up, and that's downstairs, and now he's got to come into him. 2-0. Well, Devers could really look for a pitch to do some damage on. 3 home runs, 17 runs batted in for the youngster. High fly ball, really high down the right field line. Grichuk in fair ground will make the catch. And the throw comes home, and Benintendi did not attempt to score. I'm not exactly sure why. He held at third base. And they're 2 down. That's puzzling.
Yeah, I'm not sure why either. He's pointing right now, and he might be pointing at the second base umpire where he couldn't see. Did he leave too early? Now watch when he gets back to the bag. He points out toward the second base umpire like I couldn't see it.
Very strange play.
Yeah, really strange. I thought for sure that was a sacrifice fly.
Yeah, the possibility of leaving early and then maybe recognizing he did is there, and that'll bring up Nunez, and a ground ball to first, backhanded by Smoke, and they're going to get out of this thing. Boy, that was strange.
That's big.
Well, we'll see how big a little later on. Right now, 4-3 Red Sox.
Benintendi. Now we got a couple of looks at it. First, he does leave early, but the reason he left early, I believe, and I might be totally wrong, but when he's tagging up at third base, and we'll get a different angle look at it. When he tags up at third base, I want you to watch the umpire in the infield and watch where Benintendi is. Now the umpire is going to move in. Now Benintendi right now, I don't think can see if he makes the catch or not, and I think that's why he left early. Because he went back and he pointed right at the umpire. So I got to believe, and I could be totally wrong, that the umpire could not see. He could not see because the umpire's positioning, and that's why he tagged and left early. Then from that point, he's just got to go back and re-tag.
He made the right decision there. It's the only thing that really makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
In there for a called strike. So Rodriguez back out there with a 4-3 lead here in the bottom of the 7th. Facing Diaz, the 9-hitter. Grichuk on deck, and then Hernandez. Last inning, a home run by Solarte put them in the lead, but Mookie Betts just slammed his second home run of the ball game. It's the only thing that makes sense on that play.
It really is, because it was deep enough where he didn't have to rush.
Pop-up foul out of play.
And what convinced me of that is first, before I saw that second angle, I saw him pointing toward the umpire, and so that's why I started to think that way. We got the angle from third base, and it was pretty clear they were lined up. The umpire and the right fielder making the catch.
Yep. I had already put a run in the scorebook. Got to erase that. But 4-3 Red Sox here in the 7th.
Third base coach in that case is telling them obviously tag and go. But if Benintendi couldn't see the catch and he left too early, then he's got no choice but to go back to the bat.
Yeah, then he's made a very intelligent base running play to not try and score, because that would be erased. So 2-2 on Aledmus Diaz. Rolls that one toward first very softly. Hanley Ramirez will tap the bag for out number 1. Time now to check out the results of our Dunkin' Donuts poll question. Which do you think is more exciting, a walk-off home run or the final out of a no-hitter? And the no-hitter way out in front in this one, 61%.
We'd like to thank you for your 4 votes on that.
Yes, thanks for weighing in.
3-1.
It was a runaway. And Levangie coming out to talk with Rodriguez and Vasquez. With the bases empty and 1 away, going over the scout, I'm sure, on Grichuk, who is just recently into the ball game, but he is not swinging it at all. He actually has the lowest batting average in the majors right now. Pretty dreadful, 0.86, although he does have a couple of home runs. He's the man who caught the high twisting fly down the right field line where Benintendi did not score. So 1 out here in the 7th. Red Sox up by a run. Opportunity for Rodriguez to put another one in the win column. He would go to 3-0 on the season should he win it. And the Red Sox would go to 4-0 in his starts. Long way to go yet, though. Sox have an active bullpen. And poke foul out of play.
Fastball still has good velocity on it. 92 on that last fastball. That has not been his primary pitch tonight, though.
One to the former Cardinal. That catches the corner. Grichuk may already have been demoted to the minor leagues if he had any options left, but he doesn't. So still on the roster despite that anemic average. 1-2. Pop foul out of play. Erod's still throwing with good velocity, 93 miles an hour on the fastball. He's over 100 pitches.
Yeah, tried to go upstairs with the last one, and contact made by Grichuk.
Sox got 6 great innings out of Rick Porcello last night. He continues to throw the heck out of the ball. He finished the month of April perfect at 4-0. No decision last night. Here's the 1-2 and fouled back again. In the way that Rick Porcello is mixing his stuff and the caliber of his stuff is so impressive.
No, we talked about it last night. You know, you love to see big strikeout games. They're exciting. But, you know, when you see a pitcher carve up a team the way that he can do it with mixing in all his pitches, that to me is just as impressive.
2-2. 9 strikeouts for Rick last night. And an outstanding April. Over for him, but not for Chris Sale, who pitches tomorrow in the finale. Last game of the trip, 2-2. And the count fills up. The season high for Eduardo in pitches at 105. Bases empty, 1 away. Man, the payoff pitch to Grichuk. And he got him. Put him away at 94.
Well, he knows this is it for him, and he's going with a lot of fastballs this inning. That's the fastball here again. Up above the belt, let her high to get the swing and miss, and that brings out Alex Cora.
So he will go to the bullpen with Hernandez coming up. A lot of congratulations there. That's a fine effort by Eduardo Rodriguez. The Red Sox starters continue to flat get it done as he goes deep into the ball game. 2 down, 7th inning, and he has a 4-3 lead. Heath Hembree will be coming in. We'll be back with more in a moment. Red Sox world champions, and in game number 23 Red Sox would win over Houston 7-3. Brian Dempster got his first win. David Ross supported his pitcher with his first 2 home runs of the season. He has gone on to fame and fortune, Dancing with the Stars, all sorts of television appearances on ESPN and so forth. He's been the man. Well, Eduardo Rodriguez can win it 6 2/3, 3 runs, 5 hits. Gave up a home run in the 6th inning, but then Mookie Betts came back and blasted a 2-run shot to put the Red Sox in the lead. So Eduardo can go to 3-0. Here's Heath Hembree now. Appearance number 10 on the season. Bases empty, 2 down. Hernandez 1 for 3. Not a lot of hits in this one. Pitching's been tough again. You figure the whole series would be for both teams. Sox have 5 hits, Toronto with 6. A lot of good pitching in these 3 games. Red Sox trying to snap the 3-game losing skid, but also add to the best record in Major League Baseball. Sox are 17-5. This Toronto team has played very well. They're 14-8. A wave, but did not go, says D. Jesus. Red Sox will have due up in the 8th inning. Jackie Bradley, Christian Vasquez, and a red hot Brock Holt, who has 2 more hits tonight. If anybody reaches, Mookie Betts. Looked like he went there, and he did. Home plate umpire rings him up, and the count 2-2.
Yeah, very similar pitch. That time he did make an attempt at the slider. Last 2 pitches almost in identical spots.
And Hembree looking to finish him off here. And he does, right past him. 97 with that fastball for strike 3. T-Mobile, the best network for streaming baseball, because your stadium should be where you make it.
Well, very strange play in this game. Let's hope it doesn't come back to bite the Red Sox. But Benintendi, I think, losing that ball between the umpire and seeing the catch. That's why he tagged and left early. He couldn't see the catch.
So it remains a little tighter than the Red Sox would like. Top of the 8th. This is Tim Meza out of their bullpen, left-hander, getting Jackie Bradley, who pops a foul. He's a 6'2", about 210. Made his major league debut last year for Toronto. Out of the bullpen.
Started the season in AAA Buffalo. Called up. 1 appearance.
Snaps in a breaking ball, a slider. Jackie has gone 0 for 2, but he has scored a run after walking in the 5th inning. On a rather strange play in the 5th. Brock Holt did double him in. Been a couple of weird plays in this game.
Yeah, it has been. It's been a strange game all the way around.
Last night had some twists and turns, but very entertaining game. Here's the 1-2. And strike 3. So 1 away in the Sox 8th inning.
Steady diet of breaking balls that time to Jackie Bradley Jr. to get the first out here in the 8th. Goes back to the slider, as you can see right here. The spin and spinning down and away from Bradley. Pretty nasty pitch right there.
Here's Vasquez. He's gone 0 for 2 and was hit by a pitch on the arm. Red Sox had 4-3, 8th inning. So both of the starters out of the ball game. Eduardo Rodriguez can win it. He can improve to 3-0. Red Sox knew they were going to face a very tough guy in Aaron Sanchez tonight. He went 6, no decision, struck out 8, allowed 3 hits and 2 runs. But Mookie got him. Betts with a home run right out of the chute in the first inning. And then homered again in the 7th inning against the bullpen. 2-run shot. That one went to right field. So the Red Sox in front on a huge night for Toronto sports. Toronto fans, their heads are spinning as far as what to watch, what to follow. High fly right center. And Pilar will make that catch. 2 up, 2 down. Now let's go to the 180 moment of the game, brought to you by Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Yeah, Betts gets a fastball down the middle, pulls it off Sanchez. It gets a fastball and takes it to the opposite field for his 2nd home run of the game. Number 8 on the season for Mookie Betts. 3 RBIs in a night gives him a total of 17.
Your long-term solution for weight loss and the official weight loss program of the Boston Red Sox. Brock Holt, another good night, up to 313 now after a double to drive in a run and a base hit. So the Red Sox getting plenty of offense from Brock and some key hits as well. He pokes that one to right. Philly has a 3-hit ball game. Well, he's on it.
You know, it's always nice, Dave, when you sit around all day and you think about an open. You know, and you open today with Brock Holt. Brock Holt from that 9 spot in the batting order tonight, a double to drive in a run and 2 singles, and single off the left-hander right there. Pretty impressive.
And it was your idea. Gibbons coming out.
That's just pure luck.
A 3-for-4 ball game for Brock. So Gibbons has been wearing out a path here in the last couple of innings. And we'll go to Tepera now for the 2nd night in a row. We'll take that break as well. Sox with a base runner and Mookie Betts coming up. Once again, Red Sox in front 4-3 in Toronto. First 2-run homer in the 7th. He's driven in 3 runs and he comes up to hit again. He's already had a 3-homer game on this road trip. That came in Anaheim and he's up to 8. One of the most dangerous hitters alive as a runner at first base, and 2 men out. Brock Holt after a base hit. And Tepera coming on for the second straight night here for John Gibbons. Benintendi on deck. Might be a night where the Red Sox will go to Craig Kimbrell for the second consecutive night as well. Here's the 1-0 from the righty. And in there for a strike. Tepera, 13th appearance, 2.38 the ERA, and he's been tough to hit.
Yeah, 14 strikeouts in 11 1/3 innings.
Brock Holt with a dive back. Red Sox have been getting some very good jumps. Benintendi stole 2 bases in the 7th inning alone. Mookie looking down at Carlos Fablas, third base coach, and now climbs back in. 1 ball, 1 strike. Runner holding, and a high fly into left field. This one doesn't carry as far, and Hernandez will make the catch to retire the side.
Sync Sox games with your desktop or mobile.
Need a terrific performance out of the relief corps tonight in a tight one here in Toronto. Joe Kelly was excellent last night, 2 scoreless innings. He's been appearing a lot, 5 of the last 10 games for Boston. They'll get a difficult part of the order, 3, 4, and 5 for the Blue Jays. Smoke to lead it off. He'll turn over on the left side. He has gone 0 for 3 in this one. Actually 1 for 3. Did get a base hit in first inning. There was also an error on the play. He'll be followed by Solarte and then Morales. Solarte has homered. Smoke at 232 with a couple of homers after 38 home runs last year. In there for a strike. Clippard and Osuna, both of whom worked last night in Toronto's victory. Warming up now. Osuna actually blew the save. He was up 3-1 in the ninth when the Red Sox rallied to tie. Eventually in 10 they won on a walk-off homer by Curtis Granderson. Weekly hit to the shift. Nunez from the carpet. And Smoke is retired 4-3.
Now back in the sixth inning, Solarte gets a hanging breaking ball that time from Rodriguez and takes it out of the ballpark. That was the third run of the night for the Blue Jays. Now we'll switch around, a hit from the left side of the plate, switch hitter to face Joe Kelly.
So Solarte is 1 for 3. Showing off very good power. 18 home runs last year. Is well ahead of that pace this year with a new ball club. Red Sox have Carson Smith throwing in the bullpen. Zipped in there at 97. 1-1.
Perfect spot, too. Down and in right in the corner is Carson Smith. Brian Johnson.
One down, nobody aboard, and the 1-1 from Kelly. Another weak ground ball. Nunez in plenty of time. 2 up and 2 down. Our game summary now. It's brought to you by Xfinity. Red Sox with a 4-3 lead. Eduardo Rodriguez went 6 2/3. He can get the win tonight. Mookie with a pair of home runs. He has 8. Sanchez was good while he was in there over 6 innings, just 3 hits, and Solarte with that 6th home run. Then another tight one here. So here's Morales. He is 0 for 3. Couple of ground outs and he's whiffed. Another tough pitch on a slider and a count 0-1. Sox came into play tonight with a 3-game lead over these Blue Jays and 4 over the Yankees. 8.5 over Tampa Bay, although suddenly Tampa Bay's won 4 in a row. They'll be coming to Fenway next on Friday. We see the Rays again. Jerry was like, we just said goodbye 5 minutes ago, because we did.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of the Rays early in the season, a lot of Toronto early in the season. We're right back here on the next road trip to finish it up.
Red Sox have already played Tampa Bay, what, 7 times? Two down. Here comes the 1-1. It's not going to be a very long homestand, so if you want to see the Red Sox, you only have 5 games coming up, actually 6 games coming up, and then the Red Sox will take to the road again for a long trek. Texas, New York, and then back to Toronto for a second time. And a 2-1 from Kelly. That disappeared on a change.
Changeup. He's thrown all his pitches, his fastballs, curveball, his slider. Now the changeup. Changeup grip, ball spinning around, spinning away. No contact from Morales.
So 2-2 with 2 down. Bases are clean. Three and 2. Russell Martin, the on deck hitter. Sox will have Benintendi, Ramirez, Martinez due up in the 9th against the Toronto Pen. Here's the payoff pitch. And he got him. Back with the off speed, a dynamite changeup. And Kelly again zips through the inning. To the ninth inning, Red Sox leading here in Toronto 4-3. Amica Insurance, great service, great coverage, and a great price for auto, home, and life insurance. And Kelly was terrific.
Yeah, changeup right there. He threw all of his pitches in that inning. His fastball, his curveball, his slider, and finished it off with a changeup.
He went 2 scoreless last night too. So on to the ninth inning. Benintendi has gone 0 for 2 with a couple of walks and 2 stolen bases. Clippard in the game for his 13th appearance. And a 2.31 ERA. Red Sox sending up 2-3-4, looking to add another run to get a little bit of a cushion. And Benintendi looking for his first hit of this one, and in fact in the series. And he pops that one to center field. Charging on Pilar, still coming, but has time. 1 out. Meanwhile, Craig Kimbrell loosens in the bullpen. He has not had a save opportunity on the trip. He was the losing pitcher last night on the home run by Granderson. That was in the 10th inning. And the ball game was tied before the heroics of Granderson. That brings up Hanley Ramirez, who's gone 0 for 3. He walked the last time. So the Red Sox trying to end this mini losing skid and get back on the winning side, and also even up the series with Toronto. Red Sox really dominated these guys last year, went 13-6 against them. Not to forget, the Red Sox won 93 games a year ago. And a 1-0. Hard hit, smacked to third. Solarte down for it. 2 down. So Martinez will be next. A pretty good night for JD. He's been on base 3 times. Martinez has singled, been hit by a pitch, and he's also taken a walk tonight. Another well pitched game here in Toronto. Started him at 84 with the split. Clipper, the fourth man out of the bullpen for John Gibbons, deals an 0-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Sanchez started. He went 6. Eduardo Rodriguez started for the Sox. The left-hander 6 2/3. He can win it. In tight, 2-1. And no fastballs yet for Martinez. Devers on deck. And nobody aboard. Here's the 2-1 to the cleanup man. Popped up. Foul ground. Smoke on the move, but that'll sail off into the crowd. No doubt held down tonight because of all the sports activity involving Toronto teams. Sox, Blue Jays, Bruins, and Maple Leafs, of course, in the Garden. Game 7. Bruins up 5-4 with 12 minutes to go. Raptors, Wizards, NBA playoffs, Game 5 at the Air Canada Center. Among other things, here's the 2-2. All filled up now on Martinez. They have not given JD a whole lot to swing at tonight. He spoiled that one.
Pretty tough fastball outside part of the plate. Martinez getting a piece of it to see another pitch on the 3-2 count. Goes to the outside corner with that fastball, and Martinez has to reach across the plate to foul it off. That's the ball when he's going good. He can drive out of the park the other way.
3-2 again.
He's throwing him a couple of changeups that have been just hanging.
Yeah, center cut.
Oh my goodness. I mean, this thing just got hit me all over it, and he just fouls it straight back.
Let's see if he gets that again. Another 3-2.
It's like a fastball.
Got a piece. Yep, 92. Pretty good at bat here by JD Martinez. Trying to reach for Devers on a night that has seen a couple of very unusual base running plays. And 2 home runs by Mookie Betts. And he walked him. So he's aboard for the 4th time tonight, talking about those base running plays. And go back to the first one back in the 5th inning.
Now this was very strange. A hit and run situation right here, and Bradley thought the ball was going to be caught. He decides it's not. He scores. Vasquez almost passed him but didn't. And then the early tag that I believe was blocked by the umpire. He could not see the catch. And then by the time he re-tags, he can't go.
Devers has gone 0 for 4. Tried to hold up. That's a swing and a miss. Your point is the only thing that really makes sense, and the gesture by Benintendi after he went back to the bag makes it make even more sense.
Well, you know, when I first looked down there, I saw Benintendi reach for the umpire to talk to him. That's the only thing I could think of right there, because there was no reason for him to leave early at all. That ball was plenty deep for him to score.
Sure was. That'd be interesting to hear his comments after the game. It sounds to me like what you're saying makes great sense.
Well, I'm banking. I wouldn't say my life on it, but I'm saying I'm pretty confident that's what happened.
2 strikes on Devers. With Martinez aboard and 2 down. Here's the 0-2. And he has a tough night at the plate. He takes it out on the bat as he strikes out for the 3rd time. But we go to the bottom of the 9th. Red Sox up by 1. Kimbrough coming on. saved. Everybody saves at Bob's, the only choice for untouchable furniture value. Available in store or at mybobs.com. Craig Kimbrel coming out of the bullpen, looking to lock this one down. Red Sox with a 4-3 lead, looking to break a 3-game skid. Sox bullpen's been brilliant tonight. Combination of Hembree, Kelly, and now Kimbrel trying to sew up a victory here on the road.
Yeah, that can't be lost in the shuffle. A job that Hembree and Kelly have done in this very tight ball game.
So he'll get Russell Martin and Kevin Pillar and then Lourdes Gurriel here in the ninth. Martin has grounded out twice. He's also taken ball 4. Only 12 total hits in the game, 6 apiece. And the Sox closer ready to work. Been a while since he has allowed runs in back-to-back appearances. Last night, the home run by Granderson settled the score in the 10th. And Craig right back out there tonight. And a 1-0 to Martin. 96 in there for a strike. Red Sox sending 3 consecutive relievers who can go to 97 and higher. And it's quite a luxury. One to Martin. Got a piece of that again. 97.
And they also got another one in the bullpen that can go that high too, in Barnes. But right now the focus on Kimbrel.
Last year he struck out 49.5% of the batters he faced, which is ridiculous. High and tight, 2-2. Craig has converted each of his last 15 save opportunities. That's the longest active streak in Major League Baseball. Trying to set down Russell Martin, the 2-2, and popped him up. Playable for Vasquez. Plenty of room, and that's the first out. One gone.
Just pretty much staying with the fastball that time against Martin. Gets that little pop up to Vasquez for the first out. There's the fastball. It's going to be a little bit in tight. Jams him a little. Vasquez, once he figures out where it is, he's got a beat on it.
Kevin Pillar now, he's gone 0 for 3. Red Sox up by 1 in the bottom of the ninth, 1 down. Now watch Solarte watching Kimbrel. He's impressed. That's a sign of respect. Here comes the 1-0. Off the outside. Solarte homered back in the 6th inning. That put them in front, but then Mookie Betts hammered his second home run of the ballgame in the 7th, 2-run homer, as he went opposite field. And the Sox have led since. Kimbrel all business. Here comes the 2-0. Now Pillar will step out. Gurriel on deck. And the right-hander's 2-0. Right down the chute.
You know, my question is this: in the 9th inning, I mean, do you find a spot for Granderson to pinch hit against Kimbrel? I mean, he took him deep last night.
Sure. He's not played in this one. And the 2-1 on the way. They missed that one by a lot on that curveball.
And that's a case right there where you're just not expecting a breaking ball. You get it, and you can't hold up the swing. He's expecting fastball in that count. He doesn't get it. You see how much he misses that breaking ball by.
Looking for the K, the 2-2. Fouled back in a big swing, 96-mile-an-hour Swifty. He is 0 for 4, 3 Ks against Kimbrel. 2-2. Rattle to Holt. Brock's got it. 2 down.
We also talked about Holt's defense and what he's done defensively at shortstop, filling in for Xander Bogaerts. He's been flawless at that position. Very steady.
And you know he's going to be in the lineup somewhere, even when Xander returns. Got an 8-game hitting streak. Xander Bogaerts getting very close. And look who's on deck. Curtis Granderson. Gurriel will bat for himself though here. He's 1 for 3 with a single. So the only way Granderson comes up is if Gurriel can reach. And there are 2 down. So Kimbrel with a 1-0 and a high fly ball to right field. Mookie Betts backing up, plenty of room. Mookie's there, and the Red Sox have snapped the 3-game skid. They win tonight with strong pitching and Mookie Betts with 2 home runs, 4-3 over the Toronto Blue Jays. So this could wind up being a very sad night sports-wise for the Toronto fans in a couple of different sports. Red Sox win it 4-3, TC.